Ladies and gentlemen, what we need is a professional prosecutor as Attorney General, and not a politician. I am not a politician. I'm a prosecutor. I have spent my adult life in courtrooms, trying cases, not in politics. I served for over 16 years as a federal prosecutor. Now, why is that important? Because if you want to be safe and secure in your home, you want to have confidence in your government, you need an Attorney General who knows how to put criminals behind bars and has actually done it herself. You need an Attorney General who knows what a prosecutor does every day and respects it, and knows the difference between what a prosecutor can do and what a prosecutor should do. I went to the University of Alabama, both undergrad and for law school. And my claim to fame for law school, I was the quarterback of the Lady Legal Eagles flag football team. I then left when I graduated and went to Washington, D.C. to work for the Justice Department as a prosecutor. And I spent the next 6 years traveling the country, trying criminal cases, and learning the difficult business of the criminal justice system. Then, in 1995, my husband and I came back to Alabama. Ben is from Mobile, and so of course that meant we had to go back to the Gulf Coast. We made our home in Daphne, in Baldwin County, and we're raising our little boy. I continued my work as a prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and for the next 10 years, I prosecuted financial fraud, public corruption, child exploitation cases, and my share of bank robbers, and drug dealers, and other violent offenders. And for almost 4 years, I served as chief of the criminal division of the U.S. Attorney's Office, directing all of the criminal prosecutions in southwest Alabama. It was hard work. Sometimes it was rough work, but it was good work. I have stood before juries and asked them for a verdict. I have directed grand jury investigations. I have taken those calls in the middle of the night from law enforcement and made the decision whether or not to arrest someone or to take some other action in the case. And I have looked into the eyes of a victim and explained to her what she was about to face in a cold courtroom. But I know from personal experience that when a prosecutor does her job well, she usually makes somebody mad. A judge, the bar, the press, even a community. But what matters, and what the tough-minded prosecutor does, is get up the next day and do it all over again. Take that criticism and do it again, because it's the right thing to do, and it's how you do your job. Anyone can talk tough about crime, but you have to have actually fought it to know what you're talking about. What's missing from the Attorney General's office today is exactly what I bring to it. A first-rate ability to be the chief prosecutor for Alabama. Unlike anyone else in this race, I have the actual prosecutorial experience to run the office for Alabama. And I don't have a political agenda. I have to make decisions at the end of the day as a prosecutor, not as a Republican or a Democrat. And you have to do it that way every day. You have to treat everyone fairly with a commitment to the law. That is the job of the Attorney General. Now, I have never run for public office before. Some people think that's a bad thing. I look around the government, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think it's good to be new. There are some political pundits and experts who say, how dare you run for political office? You've never done it before. How dare you get into this game of ours? And they say things like, well, can she really do it? Is she ready for battle? Well, folks, I've been underestimated every day of my life. Am I ready for battle? No. I was born for it. And I've proven it everywhere I've been. If you want the status quo in the Attorney General's office, vote for one of the other guys in this race. At the end of the day, they're all the same. They're political insiders and lobbyists. It makes no sense. If you make an insider or a lobbyist the Attorney General of Alabama, It makes no sense. It's like putting a fox on guard in charge of the hen house. But if you want your community safe from crime, if you want your government free of corruption, if you want indictments brought based on sound legal reasoning and not politics, then you want a prosecutor for Alabama. And you are looking at the only real one in this race. Thank you very much.